You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, Black and White Sports fans, that is a wrap for Tony Dungy at NBC. I can't believe he's actually been there for 17 years. It seemed like he just retired from coaching like a few years back.
7 years ago.
Yeah. 17 years ago, man. He's 70 years old. And now NBC has fired him from Football Night in America.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got some theories. Or I've got one anyway. You want to know my theory? Or do you want to go over the news and then I can
all I have is his announcement. I can probably guess why he was actually fired, but apparently Rodney Harrison is on the hot seat too.
Well, there's a couple of things. Number one, and I like Tony Dungy a lot.
Me too.
Okay. However, he took a gargantuan, massive, titanic hit to his credibility when him and Bill Pullian ran the Bill Belichick murder at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Dude, in case people don't realize how big that backlash was,
it was
gargantuan for like 9 days.
It unified everybody in the sports world. Even the crazies were like, this is lunacy.
I hadn't seen people come together like that in, I can't even tell you ever, maybe ever.
I was agreeing with Jamel Hill.
I was just going to say, when you and I are agreeing with Jamel Hill and Ryan Clark, hell has froze over. You've had a monumental asteroid hit the earth to cause that to happen. And I do believe Tony Dungy, because that entire event took place and then it started leaking out about 3 weeks later that he could theoretically not be back at NBC, that his contract was not going to get renewed. And look,
and then we found out Robert Kraft didn't make it either.
Right. Well, they got a 2-for-1. I mean, let's just be real. But Robert Kraft's one thing. Keeping Bill Belichick out is another.
Insane.
You just can't do it. You can't do it.
Well, Dungy came out and he actually made a statement here. So let's get into this. So over here on X, Tony Dungy posts this. He says, I have been informed by NBC that I won't be back with Football Night in America this fall, and it has given me time to reflect and also to look ahead. It's disappointing news, but I want to thank NBC, my NBC family, for making the last 17 years so special. I'll have lasting memories of my time there, especially with Rodney Harrison, who has become a tremendous friend. God has always directed me in these moments, and while I'm not sure what the next step will be for me, whether it will be in football and broadcasting or getting more involved in church and community outreach, I know God has plans for my life, and I can't wait to see them unfold. And I am reminded of one of my favorite verses in the Bible, Romans 8:28. Quote, God works all things for his good for those who love the Lord. Close quote. So that's what he put out right there. And he mentioned how he's close to Rodney Harrison. 20 years ago, man, you couldn't even imagine that, him saying that, right? Considering how huge of a rivalry the Patriots and Colts were.
You know, it is kind of weird because it almost feels like he was the Indianapolis Colts coach right before Shane Steichen. No, they've had like 3 or 4 coaches. It's been that long, you know. But you're right. It feels like he had not been gone out of the game that long. I don't know how old he is now.
He's 70.
Is he 70? Okay.
Yeah, remember, he retired pretty early in his 50s.
So he could have reasonably been on TV another 2 or 3 years at least, you know. I don't know how old Terry Bradshaw is now.
Bradshaw's like 78. something like that.
He's something like that. 76.
And people have been
78.
crushing Bradshaw on TV.
They've been crushing him for like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but the other thing would be, and I could be wrong, but I do believe, unfortunately, there probably is a political element to this. Even though I don't like it, it's not right. But we know that Tony Dungy has got some conservative values.
A lot.
And I'm not too sure that NBC appreciates it, which is one of the things I do appreciate about Tony Dungy. That's what made it so shocking that he was so involved with the Code Red, who ordered the Code Red on Bill Belichick. And even worse, when he sat at the desk and the reporters were around asking about Bill and he refused to answer, it was like, oh, Tony, you look terrible right now. You know, don't be this petty. You're coming across as petty. But I think his politics plays a role, which is ridiculous. I don't think it should have any bearing on his job status at NBC.
Yeah. Remember he was actually at a event with Ron DeSantis, and leftists were going after him.
I did a video on that.
DeSantis.
Yeah, I did a video on that. That's been a couple of years now, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
That him and DeSantis was down there. It was about young fathers being able to handle being parents better, and this great program. They set up a program.
Yeah, he's always been about parenting. He's pretty much the Larry Elder of football when it comes to family values. Because Larry Elder has definitely been pushing fathers in the home. Tony Dungy does that as well.
Well, and I give him credit for he doesn't hide his religious beliefs either.
No, that's first and foremost in his life.
And we know that the mainstream sports media, that's something else they don't appreciate these days.
Yeah. You remember that's the reason why he actually retired from football at first. He wanted to focus more on religion and helping young men. Remember, he helped Michael Vick when Michael Vick went to prison. Tony Dungy was like his mentor.
So that means he retired when he was 53.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's still a really good coach. He didn't lose his fastball. He just decided, I want to do something much bigger with my life than football. Now, of course, he's still in the media, but he's working, 1 day a week?
Yeah, I mean, what do you think he's going to do now?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Do you think he'll do a podcast or something like that with?
It's possible.
He would be a really good, like, if you had 3 guys total, maybe in a podcast, a couple of NFL guys and maybe a host kind of guy, all in the same room, just talking football kind of show. That'd be pretty good. That'd be a pretty good listen, I would guess.
Wouldn't that be pretty cool if he did this? I don't know if this is going to happen. Like the Manning cast. What if he actually does it the same thing from a coach's perspective? Like he's running a YouTube channel, but he really couldn't stream the game because, it'll get copyrighted or something like that. Right. Bring on some other guests, something like that.
Yeah, it would be good. Some kind of there's a couple of JT O'Sullivan has a YouTube channel. He was a NFL quarterback. He played for the Niners, but he's got a channel out there breaking down quarterbacks. Well, Tony Dungy could just as easily. John Gruden breaks down games for Barstool. So Gruden could absolutely do something like that, Yeah. For that matter, I'd like to see him and Gruden sit down and chop it up.
That'll be pretty interesting right there.
Yeah.
It would be. But we know, first and foremost, I believe he's going to expand, more into his religion. But he's always going to be connected to football. He's going to do something with football. We just don't really know. And it definitely seemed like he didn't want to lose his job either, because he said he was disappointed. But he knew it was coming.
I would guess there would be some more intertwining of religious aspirations there. That's my guess.
Yeah. Yep. So anything else, Rhodes?
No, that's going to do it.
Well, there you have it, guys. Tony Dungy fired from NBC. Big loss, man. Big loss right there on NBC.
Absolutely. Don't order the code red on Bill Belichick.
Peace. We're out.
Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.